Sevier County Rescue Squad for coming out and being here with us. Hopefully it'll be a event-free afternoon, but we do appreciate the hard work that all of our first responders do, not only here, but in all of our communities. So here we go, first group. What we're going to do, we're going to let the 604 late models have a little hot lap session. And again, so they reward them for helping us roll the track in. So we'll probably do a green-white checker for these guys. First, this group, going down the back stretch, that red and black number P1, that is Bill Prater. Bill Prater in the 1. Behind him, that'll be the 25 of Chase Walls. The 04 of Jack Brown. Jack Brown in the 04. And as we mentioned, driving that Savage chassis, Huck's Motorsports number 20, sponsored by Dyer Trucking. That'll be Chewy Matt Henderson in the 20. Behind him, longtime East Tennessee veteran, heck of a wheelman out of Morristown, Tennessee. That Warrior chassis number 36, that is Chris Rickett. Behind him, that's the 41 of Jim Couch out of Ohio. Little Pizza Man, Ryan Smith in the R4. And the 25, again, of Chase Walls. We'll turn them loose, and we'll do a green-white checker on the 604 late models. All right, second group of 604 late models for hot laps. Got the 113 of Chris McKinney, the 24 of Mason Bear out of Richmond, Indiana, out of Grayson, Kentucky, the 64 Blake Creech. Also in this group, the 317 of Blake Creech. We got the 31 out of Knoxville, Tennessee. That'll be Wes Tilley. Behind him, the 3 of Dakota James Smith. Mentioned Dakota Smith, that young driver, son of legendary East Tennessee late model competitor Steve Smith. Appreciate you folks watching us at home on the pay-per-view on 411 Motor Speedway.tv. All right, that'll do it for our second group of 604 hot laps. And they will have hot lap qualifying for the 604 later on. So again, this is just a little brief hot lap session for the 604 late models. 602 late models, 602s, you need to be lining up in the chute for your hot laps and qualifying. 602 late models need to be lining up in the chute. Here we go, our third group of 604 late models for the hot laps, leading them out. Second generation driver in Knoxville, Tennessee. This will be the 07 Jason Cardwell. Jason Cardwell in the 07. Also in this third group, out of Chatsworth, Georgia, And that black and orange number 17, that'll be Chip Brindle. Chip Brindle in the 17. Behind him, that's a black and white number 4. That'll be Rye Falk. Rye Falk in the 4. And the 777, that'll be Blake Scalby. The 118 of Kane Newby. And the 14 of Dwight Smith Jr. See that beautiful orange, black, and white number 17, the Chatsworth, Tennessee driver. Chip Brindle in the 17. Rye Falk in that black and white number 4. And it looks like maybe some problems for the 118 of Kane Newby. Kane Newby out of McMinnville, Tennessee, in that black and white or black and red number 11. XL Racing chassis, so he gets it back under speed. And that'll do it for our third group of 604 late models, hot laps. 602s. 602s need to be in the chute for your hot laps and qualifying. And qualifying, so do hot laps and qualifying in the same group. Here we go, first car to come out. At our South Knoxville, Tennessee, that's the 5 of Curtis Thomas. That's Schuler Enterprises, Thomas Trucking, Foothills Brokerage, number 5. Behind him, out of Hickson, Tennessee, that'll be the 51 of Christian Varner. Christian Varner in that 51. Ringhofer Home Services, All South Signs, number 51. Also in this first group, out of Rocky Top, Tennessee, that'll be the black and blue number 9. That'll be Dustin Bunch. Dustin Bunch in the 9. Going under flagman stand, young driver out of Bean Station, Tennessee. That'll be the 8 of Jacob Owens. Jacob Owens in the 8. And going into turn number 2, driver out of Knoxville, Tennessee, in that black number 16. That'll be Dawson Lowe. Dawson Lowe in the 16. And out of Murphy, North Carolina, and the red and yellow blue number 73, that'll be C.B. McKinnon. C.B. McKinnon in the 73. Again, Jacob Owens in that Savage chassis, black number 8. Of course, his uncle Mike Klotz. He's Tennessee racing veteran. Won a lot of races over at Volunteer Speedway and also at the now defunct Newport Speedway. So Curtis Thomas quickest so far, 14.847. Curtis Thomas in that green and white number 5, quickest so far in 602 late model hot laps of qualifying. Christian Varner in the 51. He is second quickest so far with a lap of 14.929. White flag goes in the air. Classic cars. You need to be in the staging lane. Classic cars. And that'll do it for our first group of 602 late model hot laps of qualifying. Curtis Thomas quickest so far in that green and white number 5. 14.786 his quickest lap. Dustin Bunch in the black number 9. He is second quickest with a lap of 14.842 seconds. Second group of 602 late models coming out. Classic cars need to be lining up. Here we go, first car out in this second group out of Knoxville, Tennessee. That is the black 102 of Reed Hatchett. Reed Hatchett, a Bruce-built chassis, B&B race engine, powered 102. Going into turn number 2 out of Knoxville, Tennessee, in that CVR chassis. Phantom race engine, powered number 19. That'll be Michael Courtney. Michael Courtney in the 19. Going into turn number 1 out of Cartersville, Georgia, in a Savage chassis number 66. That'll be Taylor Cole. Taylor Cole in the 66. And in this second group, driver out of Chickamauga, Georgia, driving that blue and white number 18 Savage chassis. That'll be Booger Brooks. Booger Brooks in the 18. So Michael Courtney at beautiful CVR chassis number 19. And he is 5th quickest so far. Michael Courtney in the 19, quickest out of this group. Now Booger Brooks in the 18. He goes 3rd quickest, 14.845. Booger Brooks, again, driving that Savage chassis number 18, owned by Justin French. Reed Hatchett in the 102. He goes 4th quickest overall. He's in this second group. White flag in the air for the second final group of 602 late models. Booger Brooks quick time 14.668, 14.768. Booger Brooks goes to the top, and we'll see if he's any quicker on this last lap. And a little tick slower. So Booger Brooks driving that Justin French owned number 18 Savage chassis. Booger Brooks, your fast qualifier. He will start on the front row of the 602 late model feature. Curtis Thomas will start on the outside of the front row. Classic cars. You are up next for your hot laps of qualifying. 604 late models, 604s. You need to be lining up for your hot laps of qualifying. So classic cars on the speedway right now. They'll do a hot lap qualifying session. Going down the back stretch out of Sevierville, Tennessee. That's the black number 4 of Travis Ward. Behind him out of Batley, Tennessee, it's the 52 of Kevin Crane. The 16 of Sean Seiss, the 28 of Lucas Shelton in this first group. Travis Ward quickest so far in that black number 4, 17.293. Kevin Crane second quickest, 17.514. Sean Seiss in the J16, he's 3rd quickest. Lucas Shelton currently 4th quickest. White flag goes in the air from flagman Joshua Patch on our first group of classic car hot laps qualifying. That'll do it for the first group of classic car hot laps of qualifying. Travis Ward in the 4. He's quickest so far, 17.257. Sean Seiss in the J16, second quickest, 17.347. Kevin Crane, 3rd quickest. Lucas Shelton, 4th quickest with our second group coming to the speedway. 604 late models, 604s need to be lining up. Here we go, our second group of classic car hot laps of qualifying. Leading them out of Seymour, Tennessee, the 35 of Mark Seiss. Behind him, that'll be the 12 of Hugh Scalf. Hugh Scalf in the 12. And the 2 of Jacob Sutton. And the 02, that'll be Lee Merritt. Lee Merritt in the 02. So Mark Seiss and that Seiss Brothers Racing, number 35. Cars, etc. Workshop Tools, American Racer Tires, DJH Performance Race Engine. Sponsors for the 35 of Mark Seiss, cousin to Sean Seiss, and they've started on the front row many times here at 411 Motor Speedway in the classic car division. So Mark Seiss goes quick time, 17.193, 17.193, and the caution flag is out. And looks like the 2 of Jacob Sutton, 3rd generation driver out of Maynardville, Tennessee. Only has a handful of starts in the classic car division. Of course, his brother Joshua Chesney and his uncle Josh Chesney and his grandfather J.D. Chesney. So Jacob Sutton, third-generation driver out of Union County, Tennessee. .604 late models. 604 late models need to be lining up. Open wheel modifieds. Open wheel modifieds need to be getting ready for your hot laps and qualifying. White flag in the air for this second and final group of classic car hot laps and qualifying. Mark Seiss in the 35, still quickest, 17.113. Travis Ward, who was in the first group, still second quickest. Looks like they will be the ones on the front row for the classic car feature coming up later on. And that'll do it for classic car hot laps and qualifying. Again, Mark Seiss is quickest, 17.113. He'll start on the front row. Travis Ward will start on the outside of the front row. Open wheel modifieds need to be in the staging lane. Open wheel modifieds, you need to make your way to the staging lane. Roll this time. Yes. All right, here we go. Our first group, a 604 late model hot laps and qualifying. In this first group, that'd be my fault. First out in this group, second generation driver, Knoxville, Tennessee. That's a 07 Jason Cardwell. Behind him, so once again, open wheel modifieds. Open wheel modifieds need to be hitting the staging lane. So also in this first group, that'll be the 31 in Knoxville, Tennessee. That'll be Wes Tilley. The 25. As we got caution on the Speedway, the 629 out of Rossville, Georgia. Landon Gentry gets crossed up over in turn number 1. Here comes Hayden Cardwell in that CVR chassis, RW Properties number 22. The American All-Star Series points champion for the 2022 season. Also got AJ Hicks, the weekly points champion for the American All-Stars Crate Late Model Series. Hayden Cardwell, third generation driver. Of course, his grandfather, Buster Cardwell, Hall of Famer at the now defunct Atomic Speedway. Looks like Hayden Cardwell quickest so far, 14.634. Wes Tilley second quickest so far. And this is the first group of 604 late model hot laps and qualifying. So Hayden Cardwell quickest so far. And that RW Properties number 22 CVR race car. 14.449. It's Uncle Jason Cardwell second quickest. Wes Tilley third quickest. Chase Walls in the 25. He's fourth quickest so far. Landon Gentry fifth quickest. And Tobin Johnson in the 9. He is sixth quickest. Here we go. Second group of 604 late model hot laps. And that Hucks Motorsports Dyer Trucking Savage chassis number 20. That'll be Chewy Matt Henderson. Behind him, second generation driver out of Clinton, Tennessee. That'll be Anthony White Jr. in the 24. The red P1 of Bill Prater. The 89 of Brandon Miller. And the 317 of Blake Creech. And the 118 of Kane Newby. Kane Newby in the 118. Second group, 604 late model hot laps and qualifying. Open wheel modified. And problems with the 118 and Kane Newby. And it looks like he's got a flat on the right side or something going on the right side of that car. Brings out the caution. Anthony White Jr. quickest so far. Took the top of the speed charts, 14.405. Hayden Cardwell moved back to second quickest. Open wheel modifieds. Open wheel modifieds. Need you in the staging lane. Open wheel modifieds. Need you in the staging lane. White flag in the air. So the 20 of Matt Henderson, the 24 of Anthony White Jr., who is quickest so far. So that'll do it for our second group. Anthony White Jr. in that Rocket XR1 Stone Plus. David Birchfield, drywall number 24. He is quickest. Hayden Cardwell. So Anthony White Jr. with the time to beat. Hayden Cardwell second quickest. Here's our third group. Open wheel modifieds. Open wheel modifieds need to be in staging. Here's our third group of 604 late models leading them out. Second generation driver out of Powell, Tennessee. That's the 3D of Dakota Smith. The 777 of Blake Skelly. The 113 of Chris McKinney. That black number 4, that'll be Rye Falk. Also in this third group, the 04 of Jack Brown, and the 41, that'll be Jim Couch. Jim Couch in the 41. Third group, 604 late models, hot laps, and qualifying. Got Chris McKinney quickest out of this third group, and he is 8th quickest overall. Anthony White still with the time to beat, 14.405. Now Chris McKinney will move up to 7th quickest. White flag in the air for this third group of 604 late models. Now Chris McKinney goes to 6th quickest. We'll see what he can do on this final lap. See if he can move up one more spot. And he does. He goes to 5th quickest. So Chris McKinney, quickest out of this group. He is 5th quickest overall. So 3rd group of 604 late models done with their hot laps of qualifying. Chris McKinney and the black and red number 113. He is quickest out of this group. 5th quickest overall. Anthony White Jr. still with the time to beat, 14.405. Here we go, the 4th group. Lead them out, driver out of Kennesaw, Georgia. That'll be the 22 of Tim Clark. Tim Clark in the 22. Behind him in the 23, that'll be Ace Claiborne. Ace Claiborne in the 23. Coming down the front stretch, driver from right here in Seymour. That Turf Masters, number 10B, that'll be Bradley Llewellyn. Bradley Llewellyn in the 10. The Kentucky driver, Dwight Smith Jr. in the 14. That'll be the 64 A.J. Hicks. And out of Morristown, Tennessee, that'll be the 36 of Chris Rickett. 4th group of 604 late models for hot laps and qualifying. And that'll do it for the 4th group. A.J. Hicks, quickest out of that group. He is 4th quickest overall. Anthony White Jr. still with the time to beat. Next group coming out, open wheel modifieds. Open wheel modifieds, you need to be in the staging lane. Sportsman, you need to be getting ready for your hot laps and qualifying. Feature coming up later on, but we've got our 5th and final group. Leading them out, a 2nd generation driver out of Rogersville, Tennessee. That Rocket Chassis 4, that'll be Ryan Smith, Little Pizza Man, son of Michael Smith. And that Pizza Plus Fast Lane Signs and Graphics sponsor number 4. Behind him, out of Chatsworth, Georgia, that'll be the 17 of Chip Brindle. Chip Brindle in the 17. Out of Wartburg, Tennessee, 2nd generation driver. That Rocket Chassis number Z1, that'll be Zach Shannon. Zach Shannon in the Z1. And coming down the front chute, driver out of Chatsworth, Georgia. That'll be the 1 of Mitchell Stanley. Mitchell Stanley in the 1. All right, turn them loose. 5th and final group of 604 late model hot laps and qualifying. See if anybody can beat the qualifying time by Anthony White Jr. And the caution flag comes out as a 4 of Ryan Smith, and his first ever start in the late model here at 411 Motor Speedway has tagged the wall up high in turn number 4. Again, Ryan Smith, first time behind the wheel of the car here at 411 Motor Speedway. Second generation driver out of Rogersville, Tennessee. He's the son of Michael Smith. And turkey sandwich or maybe some leftover mashed potatoes. Again, we appreciate you folks watching us at home at 411motorspeedway.tv. Richard Ford doesn't have any leftovers. He took care of all that last night. We appreciate Richard Ford coming out here this afternoon. Our videographer for the 411motorspeedway.tv pay-per-view. All right, so tractor band working on getting the 4 of Ryan Smith off of the speedway. Looks like a broken axle on the right rear, barely hanging on. So we'll take the car of Ryan Smith to the infield. We'll finish up this last and final group of 604 hot laps of qualifying. All right, so we'll let these last 3 cars run through. Maybe a little bit of fluid over there in churn number 4. We'll make sure there's no fluid before we turn them back loose. Mentioned Zach Shannon in the Z1, Chip Brindle in the 17. And the 1 of Mitchell Stanley. I believe Mitchell Stanley, first time ever here, 411 Motor Speedway. Chip Brindle out of Chatsworth, Georgia in that 17 machine. All right, so we'll turn them back loose. I believe we've got 2 or 3 more laps remaining in this 5th and final group of hot laps for the hot laps of qualifying for the 604 late models. White flag in the air from flagman Joshua Patch. Last lap for this 5th and final group of 604 late models, hot laps and qualifying. None of these drivers cracking the top 10. Well, Chip Brindle in the 17, he goes 9th quickest overall, quickest out of this group. Mitchell Stanley moves to 7th quickest, so he is quickest out of this 5th and final group. But Anthony White Jr. and Bradley Llewellyn will be on the front row for the 604 late model feature coming up later on.
Welcome to 411 Motor Speedway. Day 1 of the 7th annual leftover here at Tennessee's Action Track. The open wheel modified division running under Ironman rules. Of course, their season finale comes up tomorrow on day 2 of the 7th annual leftover. $1,500 to win that event. 20 entries initially signed in. We have had 1 scratch, that being the 5A machine of Brian Andrews out of Limestone, Tennessee. So our first group is getting set to roll out. Driver familiar here at 411 Motor Speedway, but in a different car here this weekend. It'll be the number 11 of High Hat, Kentucky's Brandon Hutchinson. He's 31 years of age and a stealth chassis with a Griff race engine, sponsored by the local butcher, Car Auto Glass, Lance's Trailer Sales, and Before Auto Parts. And he will be joined by the 22. I believe his first ever 411 Motor Speedway appearance for the driver out of Prestonsburg, Kentucky. That is Michael Lackey, 34 years of age, and a Pierce Platinum chassis, powered by Golf Machine Shop race engine, sponsored by Autologies Associates and Superior Carpet. And then he'll be joined by the 4D out of Rockwood, Tennessee, veteran Dave Lester, 53 years of age, in a loose gruff chassis. It's powered by a Coal Hill fabrication engine, sponsored by the Cadillac Grill of Rockwood Hill Bonding, Roger Daniels Trucking, and Coal Hill Fabrications. Be 5 groups here. The other 4 groups will have 4 cars in them. This first group, where we have 1 scratch, will only be 3. And the green flag is out, and we are underway here in this first hot lap time trial session for the open wheel modifieds here this afternoon at 411 Motor Speedway. Sportsman late models, they need you to be staging, please. Sportsman late models, they need you to be staging for your hot lap qualifying session. Coming up here in just a moment. That is Sportsman late models. Sportsman late models be getting them staged. Sportsman late models be getting them staged right behind the open wheel modifieds, please. And Brandon Hutchinson's quick time for his session going to be a 15.722. Dave Lester's going to be a 16.696. Michael Lackey's going to be a 17.171. Next 4 should be led out by the J1 out of Newport, Tennessee, veteran Terry James, 64 years of age, in a stealth race car with a pro-built race engine, sponsored by Morristown Dental Lab, Monterey's of Newport, and Fraser Farms. Should be followed by the 14. That'll be Skylar Douglas out of Clinton, Tennessee, 25 years of age, and a Bandit with a Phantom race engine, Preppy Pups, Larissa's Boutique, and White Brothers Masonry on that race car. In the J31 out of Newport, Tennessee, second-generation driver Brandon James, 41 years of age, in a stealth with a pro-built, coming down the front straightaway here, sponsored by Rattler Motorsports, Fraser Farms, and Morristown Dental Lab. And joining that trio will be the 26 out of Cosby, Tennessee, Adam Ogle. He's 18 years of age, in a Bruce built with a pro-built race engine, sponsored by Ogle's Neighborhood Service and Towing, Ward's Workshop, TNC Transportation, Steve McCarter Construction, Rickett Sheet Metal, Chad Ogle Construction, Ramsey and Son Construction, Greenbrier Campground, and Rex Hounds Landscaping. And we'll get you the quick times on everyone here in just a moment. Brandon Hutchinson had laid down the initial mark to beat. So white flag going out here in this second of 5 hot lap qualifying groups for the open wheel modified division here this afternoon at 411 Motor Speedway. And a checkered flag going down. Terry James, he is atop the leaderboard now at 15.418. Skylar Douglas second quick at Brandon James goes top of the board now in the J31 at 15.289. Terry James second at 15.418. Skylar Douglas third now at 15.487. And Adam Ogle fourth at 15.509. So those 4 falling into the top 4 spots now. Here's our next group, going to be led out by the 43J machine. Well, it looks like the 43J. Current Bruce Built Performance Parts Ironman Open Wheel Modified Southern Series points leader out of Wayland, Kentucky, second-generation driver Jacob Hall, 20 years of age, in a stealth with a Hall race engine, sponsored by Westar Lubricants, Victory Racing Shocks, Lockdown Security, Sebco Incorporated, and Bentley Motorsports. He is joined by the number 2 out of Albany, Kentucky. That is Cameron Claiborne. He is 21 years of age, and a Lightning chassis with a J. Dickens race engine, sponsored by Sun Pools. Also out in this group, the number 18, now residing in Freeport, Florida. That is Brandon Kinzer, 44 years of age, and an MB Custom chassis with a Randy Clary race engine, sponsored by Kinzer Drilling Company, Quality Natural Gas, Custom Suspension, Will Kinzer Foundation for Autism Research, Casva Angus Farm, Dirt Wrap, Sweet Victory Apparel, West Star Lubricants. And our final car out in this group is the number 11 out of Sevierville, Tennessee. That is Reese Ogle, 46 years of age, and an impressive race car with a pro-built race engine, sponsored by Ogle's Neighborhood Service, TNC Transportation, Tennessee Cider Company, and H&R Concrete. Is the white flag going down here now. Hall a little out of shape over in turn number 2. Going to gather it back up. Is going to hurt his final lap here. Hall good enough for third quick so far, though. Yes, checkered flag going down. Jacob Hall going to finish third quick, fastest of this quartet of 4 at 15.486. Brandon Kinger going to be 6th quick at 15.531. Reese Ogle 8th quick at 15.771. And Cameron Claiborne in the 2 at 16.502. He is 9th quick. Sportsman late models. Sportsman late models, you need to be staged, please. See the 15 out of Elkton, Kentucky, veteran Clayton Miller. He's 40 years of age. And a Bruce-built race car with a Wesley Henley race engine, sponsored by Elliott Motorsports, Hustler Bryan Equipment, Morris Wall Construction, Tommy's Quality Used Cars, Wilson Printworks, 214 Media, Randall Chubb Consulting, Renegade Race Fuels, and All-Star Performance. Also out of this group, over in turn number 1 and 2 there, the 5X out of Harriman, Tennessee. That is Joe Frills. Joe Frills, 46 years of age, in a Dirt Works chassis with a Frills race engine, sponsored by Cohill Fabrication, One Stop Auto, Lashes by Page, Walsh Racing, Luke Crass Motorsports, and Turpin Automotive. The other 2 cars out of this group, see the number 8 there, entering turn number 1 out of London, Kentucky. That is Jamie Mosley, 52 years of age, in a Beat-built chassis with a spec race engine. Jailbreaker Potato Chips, Will Kinzer Foundation for Autism Research, and Beat-built race cars sponsors on that machine. And in the number 22 there, out of Cleveland, Tennessee, that is Brian Leach. Brian Leach, he is in a Lightning with a J&A race engine on that race car. No sponsors listed. And Clayton Miller has jumped to 2nd quick at this point at 15.351. Fastest of the car so far in this group. As the checker flag goes down, Clayton Miller going to end up 2nd quick at 15.324 at the moment. Brandon Kinger 15.531. Jamie Mosley 10th quick, 15.866. Brian Leach 16.348. Sportsman late models, you're coming up next. Final 4, open wheel modified, set to roll out for their hot lap qualifying. Should be led down by the 22J out of French Lick, Indiana. John Baker, 36 years of age, in a Diamond Select with a Baker race engine, Hillham Garage, and Jay's Carpenter Works on that race car. Also in this quartet of 4 will be the should be the 11 going in turn 1 right there. That is Crossville, Tennessee's Chris Wilson, one-time winner with the series this year at Volunteer Speedway. In that he is 33 years of age in a Pierce Platinum with a Mullins race engine, Halo Motorsports, CrossFit Mayhem, Roland Advertising, and Gullah Automotive on that race car. In the 1H, entering turn number 1 there out of Brooks, Kentucky, that is second-generation driver Ben Harmon, 19 years of age, in a Bandit race cars with a B&R Speed Shop race engine, Kentucky clutch, G&G radiator, Jefferson Gun Club Bandit race cars with transmissions, Platinum Auto Parts, and Impact clutch systems on that car. And in the number 50, working through turns 1 and 2 there, the veteran out of Wartburg, Tennessee, that is Amos Bunch, famous Amos, 50 years of age, in a Bandit with a Phantom race engine, Red's Muffler Shop, race carburation, custom suspension, Outlaw Graphics, Wilson Machine Shop, Heidel Farms, Emory River Farms, and Davis Funeral Home, all sponsors on that machine. As a checkered flag getting ready to fall right here. Or excuse me, white flag being displayed. They got one more time around. Chris Wilson, quickest at the moment at 15.254. Checkered flag down. Chris Wilson, 15.254 is the mark to beat. Amos Bunch, 7th quick, 15.494. Ben Harmon, 10th quick at 15.536. And the 22J of John Baker didn't get the time on him. Sorry about that. So Chris Wilson your top qualifier in the open wheel modified division here this afternoon at 411 Motor Speedway. Sportsman late models coming up next, and I'll be turning it over. Sportsman late models coming out.
Beautiful sunshine here at 411 Motor Speedway here this afternoon. Again, we're glad you're here with us. All right, here we go back into Sportsman. They're coming out for their hot lap session on the back stretch out of Crossville, Tennessee. That'll be the 55 of Duke Lowe. Going down the back chute right here in the Seymour area, that's the 50 of Dustin Mitchell. Going down the back chute, that'll be the 22. That'll be DJ Shannon out of Wartburg, Tennessee. And a new Tazewell, Tennessee, second-generation driver, rocket chassis number 76. That'll be Joe Bray. Third-generation driver out of Maynardville, Tennessee. That'll be the 5 of Joshua Chesney. Also in this first group, driver out of Sevierville, Tennessee, that black number 3. That'll be David Beeler. David Beeler in the black number 3. First group of sportsmen for their hot laps and qualifying. See that beautiful D22 Longhorn chassis of DJ Shannon. Premier Excavation Tri-Cut Lawn Care and Landscaping. Mentioned the 76 of Joe Bray. His dad, Leonard Bray, former modified street competitor up at Tazewell Speedway. Joe Bray and a rocket chassis, Bray Roofing. Henniger Auto Sales, Infast to Tazewell sponsors for that 76 of Joe Bray. Joshua Chesney, part of that Chesney Racing family out of Maynardville, Tennessee. Getting ready to get up the green flag for the first group of Sportsman hot laps and qualifying. Joshua Pass turns them loose. Adam Mitchell quickest so far. And that blue and yellow number 50, Bodies by League, Advanced Auto Parts, Harris Speed Shop, Shorty Shock Service, Budget Transmissions, Tommy's Auto Repair. Sponsors for that 50 of Adam Mitchell, longtime competitor here at 411 Motor Speedway. So Adam Mitchell quickest so far in this first group. Joe Bray in the 76. He's second quickest. And that'll do it for our first group of sportsmen for hot laps to qualify. Blue number 50, Adam Mitchell quickest so far. Joe Bray in the 76, he's second quickest. Duke Lowe in the 55, third quickest. Second group coming out. Driver from right here in Seymour, that GRT chassis number 31. That'll be Brad Siegel. Brad Siegel in the 31 behind him. Out of Knoxville, Tennessee, that'll be the 1 of Michael Helton. Also in this third group, out of Spring City, Tennessee, that'll be the 16 of Seth Jolly. Behind Seth Jolly, driver out of Morristown, Tennessee, that'll be the 24 of Mason Bear. Mason Bear in the 24. Also in this second group, driver out of Maryville, Tennessee, that'll be Tennessee Jed Emmert. And out of Morristown, Tennessee, there'll be the 14 of Austin Atkins. Austin Atkins in the 14. So again, Brad Siegel in that. Steve Best Motorsports, SMC Concrete, Baker's Transmission, Schuler Enterprises, Thomas Trucking, sponsored by GRT, number 31 GRT chassis, Brad Siegel, the 1 of Michael Helton, the 16 of Seth Jolly, CVR chassis, Main Attraction Hair Designs, Prior Realty, sponsors for the 16 of Seth Jolly. A couple Morristown, Tennessee drivers on the speedway as well. Mason Bear and a rocket chassis, DJ's Performance Race Engine Power number 24. Awesome Design Concepts, Mike's Road Service, Twilight Skating Rink sponsors for the 24 of Mason Bear. And the 98 Jed Emmert. That's Steve Ritchie Racing GRT race car. We'll see how they do in this second group. Adam Mitchell with the time to beat, 14.845. Seth Jolly goes second quickest, 14.984. Mason Bear goes fifth quickest. Jen Emmert, seventh quickest overall. Austin Atkins, he goes fourth quickest, 15.086. So far, Mason Bear in that 24 machine, he's quickest out of this group. Second quickest overall with the white flag in the air. One more lap. See if any of these guys can beat the time set so far by Adam Mitchell, 14.845. So Mason Bear out of Morristown, Tennessee, in that 24 car, he's quickest out of this group. Second quickest overall, 14.935. Brad Siegel goes third quickest, 14.945. Seth Jolly in the 16, he'll go fourth quickest, 14.984. And Tennessee Jed Emmert, he'll go fifth quickest overall, 15.085. Adam Mitchell still with the time to beat of 14.845. Here we go, third group. Driver Knoxville, Tennessee, that'll be the 11 of Tim Bounds. The J2 of Larry James out of Newport, Tennessee. The black number 17, that'll be Robbie Chancellor. Robbie Chancellor in the 17. The white number 7, that'll be Keith Rollins. The red number 7, that'll be Bill Norwood. And out of Crossville, Tennessee, that'll be the 00 of Brandon Godsey. Brandon Godsey in that rocket chassis, 00G. Brandon Godsey, former track announcer at Crossville Speedway, also the announcer for the Topless Outlaws late model series, competed here in the Sportsman division here at 411 Motor Speedway. And problems for the 00 Brandon Godsey as he pulls quickly to the infield. Tim Bounds quickest so far out of this third group. He's 10th quickest overall. So as it stands right now, Tim Bounds quickest out of this third group. Again, he is 10th quickest overall. So that will wrap it up. Well, we got a couple more cars on their last lap. Bill Norwood in the 7. Keith Rollins in the white number 7. And that'll wrap it up for Sportsman Hot Laps and qualifying. Adam Mitchell and Mason Bear will be on the front row for the 20-lap Sportsman feature coming up later on. Street Stocks. Street Stocks, it is time for your hot laps and qualifying. All right, here we go. First group of Street Stocks. Leading them out, third generation driver out of Newport, Tennessee. That'll be the B01. Josh Henry. Josh Henry in the Street Stock division this afternoon. Behind him, that'll be the 515 out of Coreyton, Tennessee. That'll be Michael Millsap. Michael Millsap in the 515. Out of Newport, Tennessee, the red number 18, that'll be Damian Holt. Damian Holt in the 18. Over in turn number 2 out of Tazewell, Tennessee, that'll be the 13 of David Michael Clark. And behind the wheel of the Long Motorsports number 10 out of Morristown, Tennessee, that will be Gary Blanken. Gary Blanken driving the orange number 10. And on the back chute, that'll be the 13 of Austin Bird. Austin Bird in the 13. First group, street stock, hot laps, and qualifying. Front wheel drives need to be lining up. So turn them loose for the first group of street stocks and their hot laps and qualifying. Gary Blanken slow going down the back stretch. Driving that Long Motorsports number 10, normally driven by Colby Long. And looks like he's still trying to get that car up to speed. Gary Blanken, longtime East Tennessee racing veteran at Tazewell Speedway, Volunteer Speedway, and also did a lot of racing over at Newport Speedway back when it was dirt. And we've got a caution as Damian Holt gets turned in the wrong direction over in turn number 2. David Clark, quickest so far, 16.849. Josh Henry, second quickest. Again, the caution flag coming out as Damian Holt gets turned the wrong direction over in turn number 2. Front wheel drives need to be lining up. Front wheel drives need to be lining up for your hot laps and qualifying. 602 late models need to be getting ready for your feature. So that'll do it for the first group of street stock hot laps and qualifying. Josh Henry in the B01. He's quick at 16.809 in the B01. David Clark in the 13, second quick at 16.815. So Josh Henry, third generation driver in Newport, Tennessee. And that Henry truck in B01, quickest in street stock hot laps and qualifying so far. David Clark out of Tazewell, 16.815. He is second quickest. Austin Bird, third quickest. Damien Hope, fourth quickest. Michael Millsap, fifth quickest. And Gary Blanken, sixth quickest as our second group comes on the speedway. Leading them out of Clinton, Tennessee, in the purple 42. That'll be Robbie Comer behind him. Out of Morristown, Tennessee, it's the M2 of Shannon Emery. The 14 out of Morristown, Tennessee, that'll be Caitlin Atkins. Caitlin Atkins in the 14. Out of Tazewell, Tennessee, the XP21. That'll be Bob Petty in the XP21. The 22 out of Sweetwater, Tennessee, that'll be Hunter Jenkins. And the red number 8, that'll be William Galloway. William Galloway in the 8 as we got a car spinning over in turn 2. So Caitlin Atkins, the wife of Austin Atkins, she gets turned around over in turn 2. Looks like everything's okay on that 14 car. Front wheel drives, you need to be lining up. Front wheel drives need to be lining up. 602 late model, 602s, you need to be getting ready for your feature. So Bob Petty, quickest so far in this group, 5th quickest overall. Bob Petty, a 2nd-generation driver out of Tazewell. And that Petty's Wrecker Service, Heavy Log and Hobson Racing Fabrication, Sharp's Truck Repair, Handyman Mike, sponsor number XP21. Shannon Emery, 2nd quickest out of this group. He's 6th quickest overall. Shannon Emery, normally one of the front runners here at 411 Motor Speedway. And we've got a car spinning over in turn number 2, and that's the 22 of Hunter Jenkins. Looks like he's okay. So Bob Petty, still quickest out of this group, 5th quickest overall. Josh Henry with the time to beat, 16:8:09. David Clark, 2nd quickest. Robbie Comer, 3rd. Austin Bird, 4th. And Bob Petty, your top 5 so far as the white flag goes up last lap for this 2nd group of street stock hot laps and qualifying. And that will do it for our 2nd group of street stock hot laps and qualifying. Bob Petty in the XP21, quickest out of that group. He is 5th quickest overall. Josh Henry still with the time to beat, 16:8:09. David Clark currently 2nd quickest with a lap of 16:8:15. And looks like this will be our 3rd and final group of street stocks. Leading them out of Dixon, Tennessee. That'll be the 54, Travis Newby. Travis Newby in the 54. Following him out of Knoxville, Tennessee, that's the 31 of Brady Lee. Brady Lee in the 31. Out of Tazewell, Tennessee, that'll be the 51 of Brett Cup. Brett Cup in the 51. And also in this last and final group, driver Knoxville, Tennessee, that'll be the 23 of Greg Husky. Greg Husky, former limited late model driver. Turned quite a few laps up at Tazewell Speedway in the limited late model division. So Greg Husky in the red 23 here at 411 Motor Speedway. Last and final group of street stock hot laps and qualifying. Brady Lee goes 4th quickest in that blue and white number, or black and blue number 31. As we get a car spinning and loop it over to turn number 2, and that's the 54 Travis Newberry. May be his first ever start here at 411 Motor Speedway. Even slung some fuel out of that 54 car, so that'll bring out the caution. Brady Lee in the black 31, he is quickest out of this group, 4th quickest overall so far. So again, looks like everything's okay for the 54 Travis Newberry. Slung a little bit of fuel out, but that should dry up pretty quickly. 602 late models, 602s need to be lining up for your feature. So Brady Lee still quickest out of this group. Now Greg Husky goes third quickest. So Greg Husky now the quickest out of this group. Greg Husky in the red 23 goes 16.841 with the white flag in the air. We'll see if Greg Husky can improve. Checker flag in the air. Greg Husky quick time 16.641. So Greg Husky making that last lap count. So right on that very last lap, Greg Husky in the red number 23. He's your fast qualifier, 16.641. He will start on the front row alongside Josh Henry for the streak stock feature coming up later on. So great job by Greg Husky going to the top of the speed charts, the street stocks on the very last lap. And here we go with the hot laps of qualifying for our first group of front wheel drives. I believe 19 or 20 of those signed in. So the 32 car is getting turned around over in turn number 2. And we'll go right back in the green. So Danny Sandiford in the 10. Behind him, the 27 of Marcus Smith. The S6 of Joe Scalp. The 46 of Cody Rector. So caution comes out again as we've got a car spewing fluid all the way down the back chute. And that's the 10 of Danny Sandiford. And we'll see if that is oil or water. But it's all the way down the back stretch and going through turns 3 and 4. And that is oil. So tough break for the 10 of Danny Sandiford. We'll have to take a few moments and put some fresh dirt on top of the oil left behind as the engine expires for the 10 of Danny Sandiford. 602 late models, 602 late models need to be lining up for your feature. 602 late models need to be lining up for your feature. So that'll do it for the first group of front-wheel drive hot laps of qualifying. Travis Weeks in the 85. Quickest so far, 18.091. Jacob Sharp in the 3. Identical time, 18.091. All right, second group front-wheel drives coming to the Speedway. 602 late models, 602s. You need to be lining up for your feature. Second group on the Speedway, the 38 of Austin Maples, the 00 of Taylor Gregory, the 06 of Alan Vaughn, the 13 of Brandon Woody, the gray number 12, that'll be Jimmy Linville. And got a few more trying to get up to speed coming down the front stretch. Also in this first group, the 34 of Chris Meyer. That'll be the black 21 of Dustin Duncan. The blue and white 14, Kevin Green, and the 88 of Larry Rudd. So Dustin Duncan in the black 21, he's quickest out of this group. Quickest overall, 17.795. Chris Meyer in the 34, he goes second quickest. Travis Weeks be pushed back to third quickest. All right, here we go. Last group of front-wheel drive hot laps at qualifying. That'll be the 54 of Josh Scalf, the 24 of Ricky Rittenauer, the W21, that'll be Jason Wild, the 27A of Keith Adams, and then we got the gray A93, that'll be Nathan Adams, the 72 of Darrell Tifa Taylor. And that'll be it. And that will do it for front wheel drive hot laps qualifying. Dustin Duncan and Nathan Adams will be on the front row of the front wheel drive feature coming up a little bit later on. Folks, we'll take a brief intermission. Great time. Stretch your legs. Say hello to your neighbor. We are all family here at 411 Motor Speedway. Grab you a drink. Again, we'll take a brief intermission. We'll do our prayer and national anthem, and then we'll go right into the first feature of the afternoon. That'll be a 20-lap 602 late model feature. All right, 602 late models rolling out for their 20-lap feature. All right, here's how they will line up. Back on row number 6 on his own at Seymour, Tennessee. And that Barry Wright race car number 2, that'll be Mitchell Childress. Mitchell Childress in the 2. Row number 5 on the outside out of Knoxville, Tennessee. That'll be the 16 of Dawson Lowe. To the inside, that'll be the 73 C.B. McKinnon out of Murphy, North Carolina. Moving up to row number 4 on the outside out of Cartersville, Georgia. And that Savage chassis number 66, that'll be Taylor Cole. To the inside, that'll be Station, Tennessee. There'll be another Savage chassis number 8. That'll be Jacob Owens. Moving up to row number 3 on the outside at Hickson, Tennessee. That'll be the 51 of Christian Varner. To the inside, the CVR race car Phantom Race Engine Power number 19 of Michael Courtney. We're moving up to row number 2 on the outside. Out of Rocky Top, Tennessee, that'll be the 9 of Dustin Munch. To the inside, out of Knoxville, the Boost Build chassis number 102, that'll be Reed Hatchett. And starting on your front row, out of Knoxville, Tennessee, that'll be the 5 of Curtis Thomas. And starting on the pole, drive out of Chickamauga, Georgia, driving that Savage chassis Eagle Race Engine number 18, that will be Booger Brooks. So Booger Brooks and Curtis Thomas will bring us to the green flag. 20 laps, 602 late model feature. Classic cars, classics need to be getting ready for your feature. Booger Brooks, Curtis Thomas bringing us to the green flag. Drag racing down into turn number 1. Booger Brooks churns it inside. He will take the lead going down the backstretch. Reed Hatchett peeking to the inside of Curtis Thomas as they go into turn number 3. Little bit of contact. Coming by complete lap number 1. Booger Brooks, your leader, Curtis Thomas, now goes to the inside group. Looks like they'll go door to door going down the backstretch. See who lets off first. They let off at the same time. Curtis Thomas right back into the throttle. He'll take the lead coming down the front chute. So Curtis Thomas wrestles the lead away from Booger Brooks. Battle going on for the 3rd spot between Michael Courtney and Reed Hatchett. Three laps in the books. Curtis Thomas in that Masters built chassis. Booger Brooks out of Chickamauga, Georgia. Well over a dozen wins so far this season. He's driving that number 18 Savage chassis owned by Justin French. So Michael Courtney squeezes by Reed Hatchett to go to 3rd. Dustin Bunch moves up to 4th. Reed Hatchett gets slid back to 5th. Quarter of the way down, 5 laps in the books, 15 more to go. Curtis Thomas out front by a 3-car length advantage over 2nd place Booger Brooks. Michael Courtney in 3rd trying to chase those 2 down. See Dustin Bunch in the 9, Reed Hatchett in the 102. Michael Courtney starting to close that gap between him and 2nd place Booger Brooks. And we've got a car spinning over at turn number 4. Taylor Cole, driver out of Cartersville, Georgia in the 66, brings out our first caution. Dustin Bunch fourth, and Reed Hatchett in fifth. We'll go Dixie double file restart. Curtis Thomas out front on his own. Booger Brooks goes to the outside of the second row. Classic cars, classics need to be lining up for your feature. Classic cars need to be lining up for your feature. 7 laps in the books, 13 more to go. Curtis Thomas will bring us back to the green flag. Back underway now, Michael Courtney started on the inside of the second row. We'll see if he can wrestle second away from Booger Brooks. Booger Brooks hanging hard on the outside. Now Courtney does a slide job. Michael Courtney, who started fifth, he has worked his way up to second spot. So good racing going on here in the early laps of the 602 late model feature, as Michael Courtney, who started fifth, has moved his way up to second, trying to chase down your leader, Curtis Thomas. Halfway down, Curtis Thomas still out front, but Michael Courtney starting to close that gap. Michael Courtney almost makes contact as they exited turn number 2. Michael Courtney is right on the back bumper of your leader, Curtis Thomas. Lap 13 recorded, 7 more to go in this 602 late model feature. And now Courtney gets right back in the pedal, moves to the inside. They're side by side, going to turn number 3. Courtney's got the lead for a moment. He does it. Michael Courtney, who started 5th, your new leader here. So great job by Michael Courtney, being patient and working his way up from 5th, and he now is your leader. $15 down, 5 more to go. $17 down, 3 more to go. Michael Courtney's now starting to stretch out that lead over second place, Curtis Thomas. Coming out of turn number 4, Michael Courtney will see the white flag. Curtis Thomas in second, Booger Brooks in third. Coming down the front stretch, Michael Courtney, your winner. Curtis Thomas will come in second, Booger Brooks third, Reed Hatchett fourth, and Dustin Bunch will end up fifth. So great job by Michael Courtney. Started 5th in this feature and worked his way to the front in that CVR race car. Phantom Race Engine powered number 19, sponsored by Ott's Speed Shop and Vineyard Landscaping. Curtis Thomas will come in second. Booger Brooks unofficially third. So we'll wait for them to go across the scales. All right, getting ready for your 20-lap classic car feature. Here's how they will line up. Back on row number 4 on the outside of Gray, Tennessee, that'll be the 12 Emma Hughes Scout. To the inside out in Knoxville, Tennessee, that'll be the 2 Jacob Sutton. Third row on the outside out of Hilton's, Virginia, that'll be the 28 of Lucas Shelton. To the inside will be Batley, Tennessee's Kevin Crane in the 52. Row 2 on the outside will be Seymour's Sean Sice at the J16. To the inside will be Knoxville, Tennessee's Lee Merritt in the 02. And starting on the front row on the outside, out of Sevierville, Tennessee, that'll be the 4 Travis Ward. And starting on the pole in the 35, that will be Mark Sice. So Mark Sice, that Sice Brothers Racing, Cars, etc. Workshop Tools, American Racer Tires, DJ Performance Race Engine Powered. Number 35 will start on the pole. 604 late model, 604s need to be lining up for your feature. Open wheel modifieds need to be getting ready for your feature. Mark Sice in the 35, Travis Ward in the 4. They'll bring us side by side to the green flag. 20-lap classic car feature. Mark Sice smashes on the loud pedal. He'll take the lead going down to turn number 1. Travis Ward back inside. They'll go side by side down the back chute. Ward back in the pedal. Looks like they'll be 2x2 coming out of turn 4 as we have a car getting up high over in turn 4. Kevin Crane got out of shape in 4, but he gets it back in shape, back in line. Good battle going up front and on the second lap. Travis Ward, Mark Sice battling side by side. Now Lee Merritt in the 02. He almost makes it 3 wide as they came out of turn number 4. Coming by, complete lap number 3. Mark Sice, your leader. Travis Ward in second. Lee Merritt third. Sean Sice there in the 4th spot. Seven laps down. It's been all Mark Sice as he pulls away by about a 6-car length advantage over second place Travis Ward. Lee Merritt, who'd been running in top 3, pulls it to the infield. Halfway down, 2 more laps to go in this classic car feature. It has been all Mark Sice. There's now battle going on for second as Travis Ward on the back bumper of Sean Sice. Sice took that spot away a couple of laps ago. Travis Ward trying to take it back. And the caution flag flies as the 52 of Kevin Crane spins on his own over in turn 4. 604 late models, 604 late models need to be in the staging lane. 604 late models, your feature is next. All right, we go single file restart. Mark Seiss out front. His cousin Sean Seiss in second. Travis Ward third. Hugh Scalf has moved up to fourth. Jacob Sutton in fifth. $15 down, 5 more to go. Mark Seiss, steer leader, but his cousin Sean Seiss trying to track him down. Those two cousins started on the front row many, many times here at 411 Motor Speedway. And looks like we got a car spinning over in turn number 2. No, he keeps it underway, and we stay green. 17 down, 3 more to go in this classic car feature. White flag in the air, 1 more lap for Mark Seiss. And the caution flag comes out just as the white flag was displayed. So this will be a green-white checkered finish as the 28 of Lucas Shelton, driver out of Hilton's, Virginia, spins on his owner return number 4. Looks like everything's okay. So Mark Seiss took the white flag. We see his cousin Sean Seiss pull up beside him and say, hey, I'm here. We got 1 more lap. 604 late models, 604s need to be lining up. Open wheel modifieds, open wheels need to be getting ready for your feature. All right, we're going back green. This will be a green-white checker finish in this classic car feature. We'll see if Sean Seiss has got anything for his cousin Mark Seiss. Now Travis Ward pulls even with Sean Seiss as they battle for second. White flag getting ready to be displayed. Travis Ward shooting back to the inside of Sean Seiss. Has the advantage for the moment as they go down the back chute. Now Sean Seiss will battle back to the outside. Checker flag in the air. Mark Seiss, your winner. Sean Seiss will come in second. Travis Ward third. Great job by Jacob Sutton. Finishing in fourth. So Mark Seiss in that Seiss Brothers Racing. Number 35 goes flag to flag. His cousin Sean comes in second. All right, so congratulations once again to Mark Seiss picking up the Classic Car Feature win. 604 late models, you're up now. Open wheel modifieds. Open wheel modifieds need to be lining up for your feature. Open wheel modifieds need to be lining up for your feature. .604 late models come down the front stretch getting ready for their $1,000 to win feature. They'll be right back here tomorrow afternoon racing for $1,500 to win. .28 cars signed in. Looks like we will start all 28. So a very full field here for your $1,000 to win. 604 late model feature. Here's how they will line up. Back on row number 14 on the outside. Out of Monticello, Indiana, that'll be the 9 of Toma Johnson. To the inside, it'll be Albany, Kentucky's Ace Claiborne in the 23. Row 13 on the outside of Rogersville, Tennessee. That'll be the 4 of Ryan Smith. To the inside, the P1 of Bill Prater. Row 12 on the outside will be the 3 of Dakota Smith. To the inside, the 41 of Jim Couch. Row number 11 on the outside, that'll be Louisville, Kentucky's Dwight Smith. And the 14 to the inside, Loudon, Tennessee's Matt Henderson in the 20. Row 10 on the outside will be Rossville, Georgia's Landon Gentry in the 629. To the inside, McMinnville, Tennessee's Kane Newby in the 118. Moving up to row number 9 on the outside will be Morristown's Chris Rickett in the 36. To the inside will be the Wartburg, Tennessee's Zach Shannon in the Z1. Row number 8 on the outside are Knoxville, Tennessee. That'll be Jack Brown in the 04. To the inside, Lenore City's Blake Shelley in the 77. Row 4 on the outside of Richmond, Indiana. That'll be the 317 of Blake Creech. To the inside will be Dublin, Georgia's Rye Falk in the 4. Moving up to row number 6 on the outside will be the 25 of Chase Walls. To the inside, the 31 of West Tilley. Row number 5 on the outside will be the 113 of Chris McKinney. To the inside, the 17 of Chip Brindle. Row number 4 on the outside will be the 07 of Jason Carwell. To the inside, that'll be the 1 of Mitchell Stanley. Row 3 on the outside out of Kennesaw, Georgia. That'll be the 22T of Tim Clark. To the inside, Murrayville's Brandon Miller in the 89. Row number 2 on the outside out of Grayson, Kentucky. That'll be A.J. Hicks in the 64. To the inside will be Knoxville, Tennessee's Hayden Cardwell in the 22. And starting on the front row, on the outside from right here in Seymour, Tennessee, that'll be the 10B of Bradley Llewellyn. And starting on the pole out of Clinton, Tennessee, second-generation driver, that'll be the 24 JR of Anthony White Jr. So Anthony White Jr. and that Rocket XR1 chassis, Stone Plus, David Bunch, Field Drywall, Urban Construction, Varner Electric sponsor number 24 starts on the pole. Bradley Llewellyn from right here in Seymour on the outside of the front row. He's a CVR race car, DJ's Performance Race Engine under the hood. Awesome Design Concepts, Turf Masters Property Management, Be Clean Pressure Washing, and Husky Enterprises sponsors for that 10B, Bradley Llewellyn. Phil gets the one to go signal. They'll bunch them up 2 by 2. Anthony White Jr., Bradley Llewellyn bring us to the green flag. 604 late model feature. Here we go. White with the advantage as they go down to turn number 1. Hayden Cardwell right there, almost 3 wide coming out of turn number 2. Now Hayden Cardwell, he'll go right to the inside of Anthony White Jr., moves him back to third. We got a car out of shape. Brandon Miller got out of shape for a moment. Chip Brindle spins over in turn 4, brings out the caution flag. So the caution flag came out as Brandon Miller in the 89 machine got sideways over in turn number 4. Chip Brindle at the 17 got on the binders, spins on his own, brings out the caution flag. No laps recorded, so we'll go back 2 by 2. Open wheel modifieds. Open wheel modified. Need to be lining up for your feature. Open wheel modifieds. Need to be lining up for your feature. All right, we'll try it one more time. Anthony White Jr., Bradley Llewellyn on the front row, Hayden Cardwell, A.J. Hicks in the second row. And somebody misfired on that one. So track officials saying that Bradley Llewellyn in the 10 car may have got on the gas just a little early. All right, we'll try it one more time. Much better start. Side by side they go in turn 1, coming out of turn number 2. Side by side, Anthony White Jr., Bradley Llewellyn, Hayden Cardwell right there. He'll sleek into the inside of Anthony White Jr. There's door-to-door going down the front stretch. Bradley Llewellyn leads that first lap. Hayden Cardwell in second, Anthony White Jr. third. Brandon Miller slips into fourth, A.J. Hicks in fifth. Now Jason Cardwell, he moves it to the inside of A.J. Hicks, takes fifth away from him. Good side-by-side racing early here in this 604 late model feature. Now Brandon Miller moves to the inside of Anthony White Jr. They're shoving, they're fighting for position. Brandon Miller will take third. And as they were battling there, Jason Cardwell, he'll move past Anthony White Jr. to take over fourth. So Jason Cardwell started 8th and has moved himself up to the 4th position. Back up front, Bradley Llewellyn's got all he can handle of the 22 of Hayden Cardwell. Now Cardwell moving to the inside as they come out of turn number 4. Cardwell going high in 1 and 2. Bradley Llewellyn staying on that bottom group now. Hayden Cardwell moves down to the inside of Bradley Llewellyn takes the lead as they go into turn number 3. We've got a new leader here in this 604 late model feature, and it is Hayden Cardwell. So Hayden Cardwell flexed his muscle as they went down the back stretch. He shot to the inside as they went into turn number 3. We've got a caution. And looks like the caution will be for the 31 of West Tilly as he spins on his own over in turn 4. So just before the caution flag came out, Hayden Cardwell wrestled the lead away from Bradley Llewellyn, but it was not a complete lap. So we will revert back to the last complete lap. So Bradley Llewellyn will go back into the lead. Open wheel modifieds need to be lining up for your feature. All right, piece of debris on the front stretch. Looks like the top of a air cleaner. So Bradley Llewellyn will take the lead back, as we did not complete a full lap when Hayden Cardwell took over that lead. So we'll revert back to the last lap. And we'll go Dixie double file restart. Bradley Llewellyn on the front row. Hayden Cardwell will go to the inside the second row. Brandon Briller will go to the outside. Third row will be Jason Cardwell, who started 8th on the inside. Anthony White Jr., who started on the pole, he'll go to the outside. Open wheel modifieds need to be lining up for your feature. All right, so we'll hold off that restart as we get the 317 Blake Creech off the back stretch there. So we'll get him on the hook and get him out of the way. Then we'll go right back in the green. All right, track is clear. Dixie double file restart. Bradley Llewellyn out front. Hayden Cardwell, Brandon Miller in the second row. Jason Cardwell, Anthony White Jr. in the third row. Chip Brindle, A.J. Hicks in the fourth row. And we're going back green this time by. Back under green, Jason Cardwell, who started 8th. Now battling for the third spot with Brandon Miller. Miller gets out of shape. Jason Cardwell with the advantage. He will go to third. So great job by Jason Cardwell. Started 8th and now has moved his way up to third with lots of laps to go in this feature. Eight laps down. Bradley Llewellyn out front. But Hayden Cardwell right there in second. And we got several cars getting together. Almost 6, 7, 8 cars. And we got a big crash down here at turn number 1. Didn't see what happened. Looked up and there were cars bouncing off each other everywhere. We see the 629 of Landon Gentry. He's involved with that. The 113 of Chris McKinney. Also the 9 of Toma Johnson. Looks like the 22 of Tim Clark involved in that. The 1 of Zach Shannon. We see some heavy damage to the front of the car of Chris Rickett. And the 36, the 3 of Dakota Smith. He's up high against the wall in turn number 1. A lot of damage to the left front of that machine. The 14 of Dwight Smith Jr., he's involved in that crash as well. Bradley Llewellyn out front on his own. Hayden Cardwell in second. He'll go to the inside of the second row. And again, Jason Cardwell started 8th, and now he's up to the 3rd spot. All right, getting ready to go back green. Bradley Llewellyn will bring us back to the green flag. 8 down, 17 more to go. Coming by, complete lap number 9. Bradley Llewellyn still out front. Hayden Cardwell in second. Jason Cardwell now he's on the bottom trying to take second away from Hayden Cardwell. Anthony White Jr., he's gathered it back up. He's moved back to 4th. Hayden Cardwell starting to pull up the pressure on the leader, Bradley Llewellyn. Hayden Cardwell shoots to the inside. He will muscle his way in the lead down in turn number 3. And Hayden Cardwell goes back to the front. So Hayden Cardwell was just biding his time. And as they went down the back stretch, he pulled back the string and shot that bow. And it was like an arrow going down in turn number 3. Hayden Cardwell back up front. Hayden Cardwell tough to beat here at 411 Motor Speedway. Now battle going on for the second spot is Jason Cardwell, who started 8th. Now he's to the inside. And he will take second away from Bradley Llewellyn as they exit turn number 4. So great job this afternoon by the Cardwell Racing family. As Hayden Cardwell, your new leader, Jason Cardwell, who started 8th, is down into 2nd. So Jason Cardwell, the uncle of your leader, Hayden Cardwell, as Hayden Cardwell now by an 8th car length advantage over his uncle, Jason, in the 2nd spot. 18 down, 7 more to go in this 604 late model feature. Hayden Cardwell puts the 9-car Atoma Johnson and lap in arrears. Smooth sailing right now for that 3rd generation driver out of Knoxville. Hayden Cardwell out front. And that Rusty Webb racing number 22 CVR race car. Hayden Cardwell making it look easy here this afternoon at 411 Motor Speedway. White flag in the air for Knoxville, Tennessee's Hayden Cardwell. Jason Cardwell in second, Bradley Llewellyn in third, Brandon Miller fourth. Coming out in the front stretch, here's your winner, the 604 late model feature out of Knoxville, Tennessee, Hayden Cardwell. So Hayden Cardwell picks up and yet another win here at 411 Motor Speedway. Started third and took that lead away for Bradley Llewellyn. Hayden Cardwell and that Rusty Webb Enterprises, Tennessee Shine Company, R&W Properties, Morgan McClure Chevy, Matlock Decal sponsored CVR race car number 22. His uncle Jason Cardwell, who started 8th, will come in second. Bradley Llewellyn will finish third. Brandon Miller 4th. And we'll wait for the official word. They got to go across the scales and go through tech. In the meantime, we'll give the microphone over to Michael Despain, getting ready to call the action for the open wheel modified feature.
Brother Lynn Palmer and Miss Kelly, glad to have y'all out here at the 411 this afternoon. And Mr. Lynn, glad you're doing good and good to see you at the racetrack, my friend. Here's why they'll line up for this afternoon's 20-lap open wheel modified main event. Your pole sitter will be the 11 out of Crossville, Tennessee. It'll be Chris Wilson. To his outside in the J31 from Newport, Tennessee, Brandon James. Row 2 on the inside will be the 15 out of Elkton, Kentucky, Clayton Miller. And to his outside in the J1 from Newport, Tennessee, Terry James. Row 3 inside, the 43J out of Wayland, Kentucky. That's Jacob Hall. To his outside in the 14 from Clinton, Tennessee, Skylar Douglas. Row 4 to the inside, the 50 of Wartburg, Tennessee's Amos Bunch. To his outside in the 26 out of Cosby, Tennessee, it'll be Adam Ogle. Row 5 on the inside in the number 18, now residing in Freeport, Florida. That is Brandon Kinzer. To his outside in the 1H, the 19-year-old out of Brooks, Kentucky. That is Ben Harmon. Row 6 on the inside in the 22J out of French Lick, Indiana, will be John Baker. To his outside in the 11 machine, he is out of High Hat, Kentucky. That is Brandon Hutchinson. Row 7 on the inside, starting in the lucky 13th starting position, will be the 11 of Sevierville, Tennessee's Reese Ogle. To his outside in the number 8 machine, out of London, Kentucky, that'll be Jamie Mosley. Row 8 will feature the 5X out of Coalfield, Tennessee. That's Joe Friels. To his outside in the double loose, the 22. That is Brian Leach out of Cleveland, Tennessee. Row number 9 on the inside, the 2 of Cameron Claiborne out of Albany, Kentucky. And to his outside in the 4D machine, he is out of Rockwood, Tennessee. That is Dave Lester. And a shotgun on the field in the 22L, all by himself. In row number 10, out of Prestonsburg, Kentucky, that is Michael Lackey. Again, glad to have all of you out here at day 1 of the 2022 leftover. If you're watching at home on 411motorspeedway.tv, thanks for tuning in here this afternoon as well. And the second day of the 2022 leftover will take place tomorrow right here at 411 Motor Speedway. He's going to let them spin a little heat in these tires before we wind them up and bring them to green. Gates open and pit gates open at 9. General admission opens at 10. Drivers meeting at noon and hot laps at 12:30 here tomorrow afternoon. And the pole sitter for this one, the 11 of Crossville, Tennessee's Chris Wilson. He picked up a win with the Bruce Bell Performance Parts Open Wheel Modified Southern Series at the Scorcher at Volunteer Speedway in Bulls Gap, Tennessee, back on Wednesday, September the 14th. And the field getting the 1-to-go signal. Check out them 2 youngsters down there. The junior flagmen, they're also showing the field to 1 to go. 20 laps of scheduled distance. Sportsman late models. Sportsman late models, you need to start making your way to staging. Sportsman late models, you need to start making your way to staging for your feature event, please. Chris Wilson in the 11 and Brandon James in the J31. It's set to bring them to green 411 Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's showtime. Green flag gonna wave. Chris Wilson gonna jump out to the early lead. Clayton Miller gonna go catfishing in the bottom, and he's gonna grab the second position. Brandon James looks to be third. Terry James fourth. And we got a car around in the center of turn 1 and 2, and that is the deuce of Cameron Claiborne. Cameron Claiborne loops that machine over in the center of turn 1 and 2. So that'll re-rack them 2x2 double file into the top side of the racing surface and let the field roll by. Field getting directions there from Bruce Bill Performance Parts, Ironman Open Wheel Modified Series, and Open Wheel Modified Race Director here this afternoon, Chris Tilley. And looks like lights are out, and we're getting set to bring them to green here off turn 4. Wilson and Brandon James. Take 2. Green is out, and here we go. Wilson. And I believe they're going to bring that start back. Did not like the way the front row came to the designated starting area. And hopefully third time's going to be the charm here and we get this thing going clean and green for you. Wilson and Brandon James set to bring them to green here off of turn number 4. Green is out, and here we go. Wilson will lead the field down and into turn number 1. James up top. Clayton Miller on the bottom. Miller going to grab the second position. Brandon James third. Jacob Hall, Terry James, and Brandon James, all 3 wide there for the moment. Brandon James going to come out of there with the 3rd spot. Jacob Hall going to be 4th. Terry James rides in 5th. Then it's Skylar Douglas. Oh, here comes Brandon Kinder getting a good bite on the inside. He's going to maybe thought about getting 2 for 1 right there. But he will grab the 5th position. And looking for more, he'll look beneath Hall down into turn number 1. BK, Brandon Kinder on the move here early in this one's up to 4th. They're all chasing Chris Wilson out of Crossville, Tennessee, out in front of this one here at the moment. With Elton, Kentucky's Clayton Miller riding in the bridesmaid position. Newport, Tennessee's Brandon James 3rd. Freeport, Florida's Brandon Kinder. He's going to grab the 3rd spot now. That'll shuffle James back to 4th. And Wayland, Kentucky's Jacob Hall 5th. Amos Bunch heads up the second 5 right now. He rides in 6th. Brandon Hutchinson 7th, Skylar Douglas 8th, Ben Harmon is 9th, and John Baker 10th. And we got caution. Caution is out. And the D4 of Dave Lester's machine slows over on the back straightaway, and that will draw the caution flag. Four laps are officially scored, 16 remain. Chris Wilson, your race leader. Clayton Miller rides in 2nd. Brandon Kinder 3rd. And Kinder started back in the 9th position. Brandon James is 4th. Jacob Hall 5th. Amos Bunch 6th. Brandon Hutchinson 7th. Skylar Douglas 8th. Ben Harmon 9th. And the final car in the top 10 now, the 26 of Adam Ogle. And it appears the D4, the Dave Lester machine, had a flat right rear tire, as you can tell, and he's going to take that machine back to the pit area. 4 laps official, 1 to go being shown to the field. They'll be coming back to green here next time by. Sportsman late model stage up. Drivers, nope. And don't know, the D4 headed over to the work area. They do have 3 courtesy laps to get a flat tire changed. There's a crew looking over the right rear of the Dave Lester machine up there in the work area. And now we'll see the 1 to go signal. Lester with a new right rear shoe on the D4 machine. Single file nose to tail here on the restart. Again, Sportsman late models, several of you already up there in staging. Thank you for your cooperation with that. You are next. And Crossville, Tennessee's Chris Wilson about to wind the rubber band real tight here and bring them back to green off of turn number 4. Eyes on them. Green is back out, and here we go. Wilson, he will lead the charge off 2 down the back straightaway. Clayton Miller second, Brandon Kinzer third. Jacob Hall going to grab 4th away from Brandon James, and Amos Bunch going to slip through and go to 5th, and Brandon James going to spin up in turn number 4. James got a little out of shape coming off 2 right there, and don't know if he had something going on with the car, but it swapped ends in a hurry when he entered turn number 3 there. Stuck on 4 laps scored. So Wilson set to bring them back to green here once again off turn number 4, and here we go. Wilson will lead the charge off 2 down the back straightaway. Miller in second, Kinzer third. Bunch looking to the inside of Jacob Hall. They go side by side for the 4th spot and put Amos Bunch up to position number 4. He started in the lucky 7th position as Clayton Miller getting some pressure now for the 18 of Brandon Kinzer, who had been good on the bottom there early. And here comes the blue 11 now, blue and white 11 of High Hat, Kentucky's Brandon Hutchinson, trying to make his way into the top 5 around the 43J of Jacob Hall. Meanwhile, Miller looking to the inside of Wilson now as that pair charges off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Miller nosing out in front. And we've got a new race leader off turn number 4. Clayton Miller grabs a race lead 7 laps into this one. So Clayton Miller on a point now. Chris Wilson riding in second, but Wilson getting some pressure on the inside from the 18 of Brandon Kinzer. And Kinzer pretty close there for second at the line. Wilson had it by the bumper. As Miller showing away. Wilson second, Kinzer is third, Amos Bunch 4th, Jacob Hall is 5th. Field will be coming to complete lap number 9 right here. 9 down, 11 to go here in this open wheel modified 20-lap main event. And Miller going to have to start the process of working some slower traffic now as we come to the halfway mark. 10 down, 10 laps remaining here in this 20-lap open wheel modified main event, but we got one around up in the center of turn 1 and 2. And the J1 of Terry James loops that machine up in the center of turn 1 and 2. And we should be getting the 1 to go signal. As they get ready to wind them up and bring them to the green flag. Clayton Miller sits on the point now. Took the lead back on lap number 7. Nine starting, Brandon Kinzer rides in second. And Miller will bring them back to life here off turn number 4. Green is out, and here we go. Miller trying to protect that bottom. Kinzer riding in second. Chris Wilson third, Amos Bunch 4th. And here comes the 43J of Jacob Hall. He'll look to the inside of Amos Bunch for the 4th spot. And we got a 2-car tangle down in turn 1 and 2. Cameron Claiborne and Dave Lester. Clayton Miller set to bring him back to green once again. 9 in the books, 11 remain. Eyes on about 4. Here we go. Miller will show the way. Kinzer second, Wilson third. Hall once again looking to the inside of Amos Bunch. That is for the 4th spot, and he's going to have it that time by at the line. But Bunch battling back to the outside. Hall clear of Bunch now. Amos will go back to 5th. Brandon Hutchinson is 6th. As a race leader, Clayton Miller shows the way out in front. He and Brandon Kinzer catfishing around the bottom of this one. 11 laps into it, coming to complete lap number 12 this time by. And Miller's continuing to lead the way. Brandon Kinzer second, Chris Wilson third. Jacob Hall 4th as Brandon Hutchinson trying to work to the inside of Amos Bunch for 5th. Not able to make a move there off turn number 2. Hutchinson is 6th, Ben Harmon 7th. John Baker is 8th, Adam Ogle 9th. Skylar Douglas 10th. And Ogle, he's going to grab the 8th spot away from Baker right there. Yes, Clayton Miller starting to put a little bit of distance now between himself and second place running Brandon Kinzer, as we will come to complete lap number 14. 14 down, a half dozen left here in this one. And Miller going to have to start working some slower traffic. Miller clear of the slower cars now. Kinzer will stay second, Wilson third, Hall 4th, Bunch 5th. Hutchinson 6th, Harmon 7th, Adam Ogle 8th, John Baker 9th, Skylar Douglas the final car in the top 10. And Miller will come down here and complete lap number 17. 17 complete. As he tries to negotiate the slower car, Brian Leach here. As Terry James' machine slows in the center of turn 3 and 4. We'll see if he can get that car turned left into the infield, and he does. 18 in the books, be coming to the white flag here this time by for race leader Clayton Miller. White flag in the air, final time around here at the 411. Chris Wilson trying to pressure Brandon Kinzer, not able to get the job done at this point. As Clayton Miller works through turns 3 and 4 and off of turn number 4. Elkton, Kentucky's Clayton Miller grabs the victory here in the open wheel modified main event. Brandon Kinzer will come home second, Chris Wilson third, Jacob Hall 4th. Amos Bunch will finish 5th. Brandon Hutchinson 6th, Ben Harmon 7th, Adam Ogle going to come home 8th. John Baker 9th, and Skylar Douglas completes the top 10. Sportsman late models coming up here in just a moment. And Clayton Miller here on the front straightaway. He'll be getting the victory lane check. And Chris Tilley going to snap a quick picture of him there as well. Sportsman late model main event coming up next. Again, Open Wheel Mod's going to race for $1,500 to win tomorrow afternoon here on the second and final day of the 7th annual leftover event. And Clayton Miller getting the safety equipment off, and he's making his way out of the car. Race fans, give him a big round of applause. Out of Elkton, Kentucky, your Open Wheel Modified feature winner here on day one of the 2022 leftover. Out of Elkton, Kentucky, Clayton Miller. As the Sportsman late models make their way onto the racetrack, again, we'll be back here tomorrow. Thanks to the McCarter family and 411 Motor Speedway and all you great race fans for spending your hard-earned money here this Friday afternoon, and we invite you back tomorrow. As we always like to say, when you make your way to the exits, remember to buckle up. It is the law. Leave the speed to the guys and gals on the racetracks. When Sunday rolls around, please visit the church of your choice and worship our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who makes all things in this life possible. And as always, we'll catch you down the road at the races right back here tomorrow at the 411. Thank you so much, 411 Motor Speedway, and God bless.
Here tomorrow with super late models on showcase. The Valvoline Ironman Late Model Series back here tomorrow afternoon. $5,000 to win for super late models. And again, these open wheel modifieds will be racing for $1,500 to win. So be sure to make your plans to join us back here tomorrow afternoon. All right now, getting ready for your 20-lap Sportsman feature. Here's how they will line up. Back on row number 10 out of Broadhead, Kentucky. That'll be the 69 of Brady Lear. To the inside, the K0 Scott Grubb. Row number 9 on the outside out of Crossville. That'll be Brandon Godsey in the 00. To the inside, Murphy, North Carolina's Keith Rollins in the 7. Row number 8 on the outside will be the second-generation driver out of Knoxville. That'll be Bill Norwood in the 7. To the inside, Madisonville's Robbie Chancellor in the 17. Row number 7 on the outside out of Maynardville, Tennessee. That'll be the 5 of Joshua Chesney. To the inside, Newport's Larry James in the J2. Row number 6 on the outside out of Knoxville. That'll be the 1 of Michael Helton. To the inside out of Wartburg will be the 22 of DJ Shannon. Row number 5 on the outside of Knoxville. That'll be Tim Bounds in the 11. To the inside out of Sevierville. That'll be David Beeler in the 3. Row number 4 on the outside out of Crossville. That'll be Duke Lowe in the 55. On the inside in the 14 out of Morristown. That'll be Austin Atkins. Moving up to row number 3 on the outside, it'll be New Tazewell, Tennessee's Joe Bray in the 76. To the inside, it'll be Murrayville's Jed Emmer in the 98. Row number 2 on the outside out of Spring City. That'll be the 16 of Seth Jolly. To the inside, it'll be Seymour's Brad Siegel in the 31. And starting on the front row on the outside out of Morristown, Tennessee, that's the 24 of Mason Bear. And starting on the pole out of Knoxville, Tennessee, that'll be the 50 of Adam Mitchell. 20 laps will be the distance for this Sportsman feature. Adam Mitchell, Mason Bear bringing us to the green flag. Mitchell with a great advantage as they come past the flag stand. He'll take the lead going into turn number 1, and we've got a couple of cars getting together in turn 1. So some contact between the J2 of Larry James and the 7 of Bill Norwood. Both of them cosmetic damage. Look like they both will be able to continue. What's next? Street stock. Street stock. Need to be getting ready for your feature. Street stock. You need to be getting ready for your feature. So Larry James and Bill Norwood will get back in line as we did. Car stopped high in turn number 3. All right, be careful. So DJ Shannon stopped high over turn number 3. Track officials looked at his car for a moment, and looks like DJ Shannon DJ Shannon saying one of the cars leaking water pretty bad. So track officials looking at the 3-car of David Beeler, possibly leaking some water or some fuel. And Street Stock need to be lining up for your feature. Street Stock, your feature is next. Field bunching up 2 by 2. Adam Mitchell, Mason Bear on the front row. Brad Siegel, Seth Jolly in the third row. Jed Emmer and Joe Bray in the third row. Looking for the green this time by 20 laps. Sportsman feature. Once again, Adam Mitchell, great start as they came out of turn number 4. Easily takes the lead as they come past the flag to stand. Brad Siegel, Mason Bear side by side battling for second. Now Jed Emmer goes down to the inside, almost makes it 3 wide as he came out of 4. Jed Emmer catfishing down on the bottom, makes it 3 wide as they come out of 2. Jed Emmer will slip by Mason Bear to take third. So Mason Bear started on the outside of the front row and now slipped back to 4th. Brad Siegel got high as they came out of turn number 2, had to back out of it. Jed Emmer will go to second. Up front, Adam Mitchell with about an 8th car length advantage over second place, Jed Emmer. So Jed Emmer started 5th, used that bottom line, has muscled his way up to second here early in this Sportsman feature. 4 laps down, 16 more to go. So that caution comes out as Bill Norwood crashes into the front wall here on the front stretch. Maybe had a little bit of help from the 5 of Joshua Chesney. Street Stock need to be lining up for your feature. Street Stock need to be lining up in the chute. Front wheel drive, you need to be getting ready for your feature. It's a tough break for the second generation driver. Bill Norwood going on the hook. Again, maybe a little bit of help from the 5 of Joshua Chesney. All right, we go Dixie double file restart. Adam Mitchell, the leader out front. Jed Emmert, who started 5th, has moved up to 2nd. He'll go to the inside the 2nd row. Brad Siegel go to the outside 3rd row. Mason Bear on the inside. Seth Jolly on the outside 4th row. Joe Bray on the inside. Austin Atkins on the outside. Once again, street stock. Need to be lining up for your feature. All right, field bunch is back up. We're going to go green this time by Adam Mitchell out front. Jed Emmer in 2nd. Brad Siegel 3rd. 4 laps down. Still a lot of laps left in this Sportsman feature. So the restart waved off as the 17, Robbie Chancellor, coming to a stop over on the back chute. All right, trying to get back to some clean green laps here in this Sportsman feature. Adam Mitchell will bring us back to the green flag. 4 down, 16 more to go. Jed Emmer in the 98, Brad Siegel in the 31, trying to chase down your race leader, Adam Mitchell in the 50. Jed Emmer has caught up to your race leader. Emmert trying to go to the inside as they go down the back straight. Emmert's there once again, digging on the bottom. We'll see who has the advantage this time going into one. Adam Mitchell knows he's there. Shut him down. Jed Emmert hangs around. They're side by side. It's a drag race down the back chute. Mitchell with the advantage as they speak. He knows Emmett's there, trying to shut the door. Emmert digging on the bottom. We'll see if he can get the spot this time as they go into 3. Mitchell slides up just a little bit. We've got a new leader, Jed Emmert, to the lead. Mitchell not giving up, so he goes right back to the outside. And they've got a lap car in front of them. Who's going to lift? Adam Mitchell lift as he did not want to hit that lap car. That allows Jed Emmert to extend the lead. So Jed Emmert started 5th on the field, and he is currently your leader. Tw 13 laps down, 7 more to go. Great job by Jed Emmert by this time using that low groove. And taking the lead away from Adam Mitchell. Lap cars in front of Jed Emmert. Looks like the 00 Brandon Gotts, the 3 of David Beeler. Jed Emmert says, man, I gots to go. Get out of my way. Brandon Gotts, who let the leader come on by. Looks like David Beeler will do the same. Tennessee Jed Emmert and that Steve Ritchie-owned GRT race car out front and in charge here in this Sportsman feature. Coming by to complete lap number 18. 2 more to go for Jed Emmert. White flag in the air. 1 more lap for Tennessee Jed Emmert. Checker flag in the air for Maryville, Tennessee's Jed Emmert. Adam Mitchell will come in second. Seth Jolly will finish third. Brad Siegel fourth. And Mason Bear will round out your top 5. So Jed Emmert wrestled the lead away from Adam Mitchell and Steve Ritchie Racing GRT race car. XS Batteries, Noble Knights Construction, East Tennessee Fence, Volunteer Transit, Drift Boat Cowboys, A1 Automotive, and Gardner Brothers Auto Parts sponsors for the 98 of Jed Emmert. So Jed Emmert takes the win. Adam Mitchell comes in second. Seth Jolly third. Brad Siegel fourth. For their 20-lap feature. Front-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive. You need to be lining up in the chute. Front-wheel drive. You need to be lining up for your feature. Street Stock's coming to the track for their 20-lap feature. Here's how they will line up. Back on row number 9 on their own. Out of Kodak, Tennessee, that'll be the 44 of Tyler Blankenship. Row number 8 on the outside out of Morristown, that'll be the 14 of Caitlin Atkins. To the inside, the veteran out of Russellville, that'll be the 10 of Gary Blanken. Row number 7 on the outside, that'll be the 8 of William Galloway. To the inside, the 54 of Travis Newberry. Row number 6 on the outside in the 51, that'll be Brett Cup. To the inside, out of Sweetwater, that'll be the 22 of Hunter Jeekins. Moving up to row number 5 on the outside out of Coreyton, that's the 515 of Michael Millsap. To the inside out of Newport, the 18 of Damian Holt. Row number 4 on the outside out of Morristown, that's the M2 of Shannon Emery. To the inside, the XP21 of Tazewell's Bobby Petty. Row 3 on the outside out of Murrayville, that's the A13 of Austin Bird. To the inside, Knoxville, Tennessee's Brady Lee in the 31. Moving up to row number 2 out of La Follette, Tennessee, that'll be the 42 of Robbie Comer. To the inside, that'll be DMC David Michael Clark in the 13. Row number 2 on the outside, third generation driver out of Newport, that's the B01 of Josh Henry. And starting on the pole out of Knoxville, that'll be the 23 of Greg Husky. So 2 late model veterans on the front row of this street stock feature. Greg Husky in the 23, Josh Henry in the B01. Front wheel drive need to be lining up for your feature. Flagman Joshua Patch gets the field to 1 to go signal. Be looking for green next time by 20 laps street stock feature. Greg Husky, Josh Henry bringing us to the green flag. Side by side they go down in turn number 2, and that start will be waved off. So the front row getting a warning across the receiver. They both started just a little bit early. Josh Henry with the premature acceleration. Get a warning, they do it again. They'll move back a row. Josh Henry uses that outside line to take the lead. Now Robbie Comer makes contact as he went up beside the 23 of Greg Husky. And the caution flag will come out. So Robbie Comer, with a head full of steam going into turn number 4, makes contact with Greg Husky and spins. Open wheel or front wheel drives. You need to be lining up for your feature. Front wheel drives need to be lining up in the chute. That time, Josh Henry used that outside line, takes the lead going down the back stretch. Now Greg Husky trying to get back into the lead as we got 2 cars spinning. And Caitlin Atkins makes hard contact with the 8 of William Galloway. So the caution came out as Gary Blanken in the 10 and William Galloway in the 8. They were both sideways. Caitlin Atkins nowhere to go. Crashes hard in the driver's side of the 8 of William Galloway. So David Clark, who was starting third, looks like he may be going pit side. And track official saying David Clark, possible flat tire on that 13 car. All right, we'll try one more time to get underway here in this 20-lap Sportsman or street stock feature. Josh Henry again used that outside line, takes the lead going down the back chute. Rodney Comer coming right along with him. Greg Husky hanging on there on the bottom side. Rides in second for the moment, but he goes back inside of Josh Henry trying to take back the lead. Gets a little out of shape. That will allow Josh Henry to take off. Robbie Comer will go through the inside of Greg Husky. Now Brady Lee in the 31. He puts that car in the mix. Caution comes out as the 8 car William Galloway spins on his own over in 2. Josh Henry out front, Greg Husky in second, Robbie Comer hanging on to third, Brady Lee in fourth, and Austin Bird, your current top 5. Front wheel drives need to be lining up at the staging area. Back underway in this street stock feature. They're 3 wide, exited turn number 2. David Clark, who had to start on the rear, has now moved himself up to the top 5. David Clark moves to 4th position. Again, under one of the cautions we had before we went back to green, he went pit side, had to start on the rear, and now David Clark has worked himself back up to 4th. David Clark with a lot of momentum right now, battling Robbie Comer for that third spot. Meanwhile, up front, Greg Husky does a slide job, trying to complete the slide job on Josh Henry. Josh Henry not giving up on that outside groove. Now Husky will slide right back in front of Josh Henry. Your new leader, Greg Husky. Halfway down, and it's Greg Husky, your leader. Josh Henry there at second. David Clark almost spins out over in turn number 2, gathers it back up, but Robbie Comer will move into third. Possible problems for the 13 of David Clark as he's starting to slide back through the field, and we see that left rear bouncing quite a bit. So maybe some possible suspension damage, but David Clark not quite up to speed. Still hanging on to fourth, though. $15 down, 5 more to go. Greg Husky starting to pull away from second place Josh Henry by a 5 or 6 car length advantage. Robbie Comer about a full straightaway back in third. David Clark hangs on to fourth. Brady Lee in fifth. White flag goes in the air for Knoxville's Greg Husky. Now David Clark will challenge Robbie Comer for the third spot on the last lap going into the final turn. Greg Husky wins, Josh Henry second, and it's a drag race. Give third to David Clark. David Clark spins out down in turn number 1, collects Robbie Comer right as they take the checkered flag. So Greg Husky, your winner. Josh Henry will come in second, and David Clark, who went to the tail of the field, fights his way back to take third away right at the stripe from Robbie Comer. Folks, sit tight. Got one more feature coming up. This will be a 20-lap front-wheel drive feature. And we want to thank Joe Bray, driver of the 76 Rocket race car in the Sportsman division. And he has donated 2 general admission tickets. So we got 2 pairs up here. So get out your green tickets. Let's give a pair away. These could be used tomorrow. You can pay the difference, or you can use them for any regular season race, a regular race next season. So get out your green ticket. If I call out your number, bring it to Ticket to the Tower, and you'll get 2 general admission tickets to 411 Motor Speedway. We'll call the last 4 numbers. Green ticket number 7425. 7425. If you got that green ticket, bring it to the tower, and you're the winner of 2 general admission tickets to be used here at 411 Motor Speedway. 7425. If that's your green ticket, bring it to the tower and collect your tickets. All right, here we go. Getting ready for your 20-lap front-wheel drive feature. Here's how they line up. Back on row number 14 on his own. Out of Zirconia, North Carolina, that will be the B2 of Tanner Coggins. Row number 13 on the outside, also out of Zirconia, North Carolina. That'll be the B1 of Mitchell Coggins. To the inside, it'll be the 32 of Candy Hollers. Row number 12 on the outside, that'll be the 88 of Larry Rudd. To the inside, the 27 of Marcus Smith. Row number 11 on the outside in the 10 car, that'll be Danny Sandiford. To the inside, the 12 of Jimmy Linville. Row 10 on the outside, the 14 of Kevin Green. To the inside, the T27 of Travis Leonard. Row number 9 on the outside will be the 24 of Ricky Reitenauer. To the inside, the 72 of Darrell Tiefenteller. Row 8 on the outside will be the 13 of Brandon Woody. To the inside, the 27 of Keith Adams. Row 7 on the outside, it's the 00 of Taylor Gregory. The inside, the 06 of Alan Vaughn. Row 6 on the outside will be the 21 of Jason Wild. To the inside, the 731 of Tyler Walton. Row 5 on the outside, that'll be the 56 of Brandon Porchner. To the inside, the S6 of Joe Scalf. Row 4 on the outside, the 46 of Cody Rector. The inside, the 38 of Austin Maples. Moving up to row number 3 on the outside, that'll be the 54 of Josh Scalf. To the inside, the 85 of Travis Weeks. Row 2 on the outside, that's the 3 of Jacob Sharp. To the inside, the 34 of Chris Meyer. And on your front row on the outside, out of Crossville, Tennessee, that's the A93 of Nathan Adams. And starting on the pole, out of Oneida, that'll be the 21 of Dustin Duncan. Again, 20 laps will be the distance for this front-wheel drive feature. It's a junkyard over in turn number 2 as we got parts all over. All right, folks, trying to get this front-wheel drive feature underway. Dustin Duncan, Nathan Adams on the front row, Chris Meyer, Jacob Sharp in the second row, Travis Weeks, Josh Scalf in the third row. Crazy racing going on mid-pack as Cody Rector almost acting like a bulldozer, shoving him out of his way. Hey, caution comes out. Car taking a wild ride here on the front stretch. Cody Rector battling for that second spot. Cody Rector in the 46, Nathan Adams in the 93, still battling door to door. Meanwhile, Dustin Duncan out front, pulling away from the field. So closing laps on that front wheel drive feature, 16 down, 4 more to go. Dustin Duncan still out front. Cody Rector, who started 8th, has now moved up to 2nd. White flag in the air for Oneida, Tennessee's Dustin Duncan. Dustin Duncan takes the front-wheel drive feature win. Cody Rector, who started 8th, will finish in 2nd. And Nathan Adams will finish 3rd. Folks, on behalf of Mitch and Tanya McCarter, everybody here at 411 Motor Speedway, thank you so much for spending your Friday afternoon with us. Once we clear the speedway, we are going to have a couple hours of practice for some of the super late model drivers and other drivers who are here. So if you want to stick around, watch practice for a couple hours, you're more than welcome to. But again, thank you so much for coming out. We hope to see you here tomorrow afternoon. Super late models will be on showcase, $5,000 to win. Open wheel modifieds will be racing for $1,500 to win. And 604, 602, Sportsman, and front wheel drives will also be in action tomorrow afternoon. Pit gates will open at 9 p.m. Drivers meeting will start at 12 o'clock. So please come back tomorrow. Bring a friend. Bring somebody who's never been. And join us here for day 2 of the leftover.